What's up guys, it's Kinja here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna talk about this trending subject that everyone is talking about that's called quiet quitting. So it's this philosophy that everyone is being like, I quiet quit my job and it saved my life, blah 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 blah. It's only those kind of things that everyone is talking about. But today I want to talk about the pros and cons of quiet quitting because it's not all 100% good. So especially during this moment where we are facing a recession, believe me, you gotta think about it twice before you quiet quit your job. What is exactly quiet quitting your job? I'm gonna read it on Wikipedia with y'all. I'm gonna read what it means and let's see. So according to Wikipedia, that's where I do my researches, by the way. According to Wikipedia, quiet quitting is an application of work to rule in which employees work within defined hours and engage in work-related activities solely within those hours. Despite the name, the philosophy of quiet quitting is not connected to quitting a job, alright, but rather doing precisely what the job requires, right? I think with that we already have a little idea of what it means, but I'm gonna finish the whole definition that they're giving. And they say proponent of quiet quitting also refer to it as acting your wage. Yeah, I think everyone that has ever worked a 9 to 5 job knows the thing, acting your wage. I'm not gonna do this because that's beyond my wage, that's beyond my pay. So that's when you don't do anything outside of your contract. You literally only do the things you were hired for during working hours and nothing more. All right, so that is something actually that I feel that should be the case. Everyone should be normally doing the job that they are required to do, that they were contracted for. And as long as you do your job, normally it should be cool, right? Wrong. Anyways, employers don't see it the same way. Employers don't see it the same way, especially now that we are facing the recession. I think you need to think twice before quiet quitting your job. I mean, you need to have a safety net, you need to have a bunch of stuff prepared before you decide to quiet quit your job. So let me talk about the pros first of quiet quitting your job, and then later we will talk about the cons. Alright, so stay up to the end of video. And as you're here now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's continue. So the first thing I can talk about here is the time for your passion projects, what I mean. So when you quiet quit your job, pretty much you're not doing extra hours, you're not doing some extra work for the company you're working for, and that way you have some extra time to focus on your projects. You can focus a little more on something that really matters for you, whether it's your side hustle. If you have a side hustle, you can be, for example, a social worker, but that's for your 9 to 5 job. But then after that, decide that you're, I don't know, maybe a guitar player, maybe, I don't know, YouTuber, for example. Since you're no longer taking some extra work from your job, from your 9 to 5, you have a little extra time that you can actually put on your side hustle. So that is a pro. I feel like that is something that we can all agree on, that is a plus. Because if I'm working only from 9 until 5, believe me, I will have plenty of more time to put on the YouTube, to put onto some music, to put onto some, I don't know, whatever other things that I want to do. So the second point I can take as a pro for this quiet quitting thing, I would say, is the level of stress. The level of stress goes down. So when you don't take those extra projects, your level of stress reduces a lot because you're no longer taking all those extra work at home. You're no longer staying wondering how you're gonna manage your normal lot of work plus the extra work that they give you. You're no longer wondering how can I do more to be more appreciated by my boss. So especially when you have like a family, when you have a partner, when you have a husband, wife, when you have all of that stress goes down. And believe me, that is also a big pro. So the third point that I would say is a pro in this quiet quitting philosophy would be work-life balance. You can actually have a life, if I can say it like that. You can actually have a life. You go to work at 9, you finish your work at 5, you come back home, you have, I don't know, if you have kids, if you have a partner, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have friends, you have all of that. And since the stress at work has already reduced, you can actually be more calm, go back home and actually spend time with your loved ones, or actually go home and spend time doing something that you really love, like a passion, like a hobby or whatever, or even just some personal development thing. You can just go home and read a book. That can give you an extra life balance that you have, that you always wanted, because trust me, with these works that we do, we always don't have time to do a lot of things that we love, because we don't have time for that. And that is something that can cause a lot of stress and a lot of problems in our household. So that is a pro, because bro, we don't have that thing. We don't always have that. So now that we have actually talked about the pros, that's all the good stuff about quiet quitting. Let's talk about the cons. So the first con I can talk about, actually in this thing, I would talk about the recession, pretty much, because this is a big thing and we are actually living the recession now. Everyone has noticed how all the prices everywhere, all the prices, food, I don't know, everything, gas has gone up. So everyone is understanding that we're actually living in a recession, and it's only getting worse. You will see even big companies now, like Apple's and whatever, all these big companies that are already cutting down their staff. So what do you think, who do you think would be the first person to go if the recession, if your employer decides to cut down some people? It's the person who has the least performance. And if you're quiet quitting, that means that you're not giving, you're still giving your 100 in the things that you do, but they want someone who can give a little extra. So if you're not giving anything extra, you might be considered as underperforming, and you might be one of the first to be kicked out, just because you just quite quitting. Even if you were still doing your job, you were not overperforming like they are expecting. Believe me, still employers, they will never change about that. Maybe they will end up changing, but until now, we know that they always want those people who are outperforming, the people who are performing more than they expect, or more than they hired for. So and you will lose your job. And believe me, in this recession, unless, I don't know what you're doing, I don't know about you, I don't know what everyone is doing in their life these days, but unless you already establish a little safety net on your side, on the side, I don't think you're ready to leave your job. So that is something that maybe you should think about, because yeah, they will cut you down, and if you didn't establish a safety net, what are you gonna do? Maybe you will start looking for another job. And that brings me actually to the second point, because if you start looking for another job and you were not overperforming, how do you think you're gonna get a recommendation letter? For example, just think about it. If your old employer knows that you're not performing, because they will consider that you're not actually performing the way they would want you to perform. So if they consider that you're not performing, they will not necessarily recommend you to someone else. Even if you're looking for a job, you decide, okay, even if I get laid off, it's not a problem. I can still look for another job. Yes, you can still look for another job, but are you gonna get recommended? I am not sure about that. Just think about it before you decide. The third point I would say is a con for me. It will be like, okay, with social media nowadays, we generally talk about everything on social media. You post about, you tweet about it, you, I don't know, post an Instagram thing about it, or on YouTube or whatever. But the thing is that employers nowadays, they look online, they check online when they're trying to hire new people. They check online, and if you've been posting about quitting your job, for example, your past job, about that, I don't think they will be willing to employ you. They will be willing to recruit you when they know already your philosophy is of quitting. Your philosophy is of focusing only on the thing that you are assigned to, and not doing any extra effort to impress them, or to to get that to get in their good grace, if I would say that. So that is already something that can block you from your next job. If you want to get a next job, of course, anything can happen in this world. Anything can happen. I don't wish anything bad to happen, but you can be laid off of your job. And if you had another business, yes, that's cool. But what if something happens and you want to get another job until you find you fix your business? You would want to get another job maybe. And if you've been posting about that, that's social media. If you've been posting about that and all that, and then your employer sees it, it's not gonna give you a good impression. It's not gonna give them a good impression. It's gonna be like a block for you. It's gonna block you from getting that job just because you were caught on social media, you feel me? So just think about those things. And yeah, for me, I wanted to talk about this pros and cons, because we all want this freedom. We all want to be financially free. We all want to get to a point where we don't depend on employment. We don't depend on this monthly checks or whatever. But we have to be smart about it. You don't just jump into something. Oh, I'm quitting my job. Or I'm quitting my job. Or not. But for me, I feel like the safe way of doing these things is to establish something really strong aside first, to establish something, and then you go step by step quitting. Don't do it like this. Don't do it fast. Don't just decide today, okay, I'm quitting, and everything becomes so obvious. No, you have to go step by step. Take your time. Keep building your business. Keep building your other sources of income. Don't only build one. Build a bunch of them. Sources of income, whether it's some passive sources of income and a few other active sources of income, so that you can be able to decide, okay, I can quit this 9-to-5 job that I have, without actually risking to find myself on the street, you feel me? Like, without risking all of that. Be smart about it. Don't just, watch a video on YouTube or watch the trends and go ongoing and be like, I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna quit my job. I'm going to be cool. I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna do that. Yes, start your business, but start your business when you're still working. Start your business when you still have something to pay for your basic needs. Start your business when you're still doing your job 100%. And then later, when you already have like a few sources of income, when you already have like something that can replace your salary, then you can make the move towards what you want. So just what I'm gonna say to you as a conclusion is, be smart about this thing. Don't just listen to how the trend is going and decide. We all not the same. We all don't move at the same pace. You don't know the person who started this trend and stuff. Maybe they had that safety net. And the YouTubers are talking about it all the time, that it saved their lives, all those things, but they had something else. They had something else that they were building. So don't just think about, we're not all in the same situation financially. We're not all in the same situation, because a lot of people can actually get lost just by that. Just because you followed what is being said online, what is being talked about by everyone. Be smart, think about it, and build a safety net, build something before actually quitting your job. That's all for me. That's all I'm gonna talk about today. That's all I wanted to say today. And don't hate on me for that. I just wanted to put the truth out there, my truth. I wanted to say what I feel about this new trend, about this new philosophy. So take it or leave it. It's fine. Take it or leave it. But tell me in the comments what you think about it. Take it or leave it, but tell me in the comments what you think about it. And let's have a little conversation in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notification. I post every Wednesday, and I'll see you guys in the next video.